Walk through an old stave church, examine medieval harbour pilings, or study timber recovered from Viking Age sites, and one fact becomes impossible to ignore. Wood that should have turned to soil long ago is still structurally sound. This was not luck, nor superior trees alone. Ancient builders understood something fundamental about wood decay that modern construction has largely forgotten. They did not try to seal wood from the world. They taught it how to survive within it. Why rot is not caused by age, but by trapped moisture and poor preparation. Rot is a biological process, not a countdown timer. Wood does not decay simply because time passes. It decays when moisture is held long enough for fungi to colonize the fibers. Ancient builders observed this directly. They noticed that timbers exposed to cycles of wetting and drying survived, while those kept constantly damp failed quickly. Their solution was not heavy coatings or chemical barriers. It was a system that controlled moisture movement from the moment a tree was cut until the structure reached the end of its life. Harvesting at the right season was, really the first line of defense. Ancient woodworkers paid close attention to when a tree was felled. Winter cutting was preferred across much of Europe and the North because SAP levels were low. Less internal moisture meant, less food for fungi and insects. Applying this today is honestly pretty straightforward. When possible, cut or purchase timber harvested in colder seasons, or lumber that has been properly kiln-dried or air-dried for extended periods. Moisture content at the start determines really everything that follows. Why slow air drying mattered more than any surface treatment. Ancient builders rarely used wood immediately. Logs were stacked off the ground, protected from rain, and left exposed to wind. This process could take, sometimes, years. The goal was not speed, but stability. Slow drying allowed moisture to leave the wood evenly, preventing internal stress and cracking. Now, let's talk about how controlled surface charring changed wood at a chemical level. One of the most powerful ancient techniques, actually, was light charring. This was used on things like posts, beams, ship parts and foundations. The surface was exposed to flame, just long enough to blacken and seal the outer fibres. Charring did several things at once, It drove out residual moisture, closed surface pores, and destroyed spores and insect eggs. But most importantly, it created a carbon-rich layer that fungi simply cannot digest. So, why did ancient oils feed the wood instead of sealing it shut? Well, after drying or charring, ancient builders treated wood with oils and fats rather than paints or varnishes. Linseed oil, fish oil, animal fats, and pine-derived substances were all common, depending on the region. Design really mattered more than any single treatment. Ancient builders never relied on treatment alone. Instead, structures were designed to protect wood naturally. Beams were elevated on stone, roofs were steep with wide overhangs, and joints were shaped to shed water rather than trap it. Maintenance, it extended lifespan indefinitely instead of just delaying failure. Ancient builders expected to maintain wood. Oils were reapplied, exposed surfaces were refreshed, and honestly, this was not seen as a flaw, but as stewardship. Why does this ancient trick work across climates and centuries? Well, the true secret was not just one technique, but really a whole system. Seasonal harvesting, slow drying, fibre-preserving cuts, surface charring, penetrating oils, intelligent design and periodic maintenance all work together. If you remove even one element, the lifespan decreases. But combine them and wood becomes honestly remarkably durable. So, how can you apply the ancient method today and actually see proven results? Start by choosing dense, straight-grained wood. Allow it extended air drying. Split rather than saw where strength really matters. Lightly char high-risk surfaces. Apply penetrating oils generously and, well, patiently. Design structures to shed water and breathe. And most importantly, maintain rather than abandon. This is not folklore. It is field-tested engineering, refined over generations who simply could not afford failure. If this guide deepened your understanding of traditional durability and practical history, do consider subscribing to Backyard Wisdom for more knowledge drawn from the past and proven in the real world. Share this with builders, survivalists, and serious history enthusiasts who value methods that outlast trends and technologies.